Good morning. How's everybody doing? You guys are tuning into another episode of the Wunderkind Show. And today's topic, Tyler Huntley equals Alex Smith 2.0. And look, this is no shade, no hate. Do not misconstrue what I'm about to tell you, because this is aimed at a very, very select portion of the fan base. And I want to make sure I say what I got to say and don't sparse my words, because some of you, what you say truly is ridiculous. It's utter garbage. But I'm going to address what I mean when I say this, okay? Tyler Huntley last year was given the reins of a team that was injury riddled, right? But even through all of its injury, it was the number one team in the AFC. That was a team that, even with the excruciatingly bad O-line play, right? All of the receiver drops, right? The defense being one of the worst passing defenses and worst sack defenses in the league, they were still number one in the AFC. And every single time they lost, do you know who stood at the foot of those losses? Do you know who was the blame of all those losses? Lamar Jackson. Lamar gets hurt. He gets hurt, right? Gives the team to Tyler. That's why Lamar was calm on the sideline. They lose every game. This is coming from the same select amount of the fan base that were calling for Huntley to remain the starter. Since Lamar Jackson has taken over for this team, our team, which we've never done in the history of the Ravens, is one of the best offensive squads in the league. I think since he's taken over, he's like top four. He dropped from like top 3, but he's like top 4 in offense, like points per game and stuff like that since Lamar's taken over. You think that's an accident? This lets me know you guys are just very, very new Raven fans. Because there is no way that you went through the entire Flacco era, even though he got a title, the whole Flacco era and the quarterbacks before Flacco, and you can tell me that Huntley is a better option over Lamar Jackson. Like quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson come a dime a dozen. Hey, yo! At this point, this select portion of the fan base are terrorists. You're terrorists. Nothing more than evil sprites sent from the devil to destroy the team from within. That's what you are. You're viruses. Yo, we need antiviral medicine for y'all, man. Because y'all not thinking. There's no way. Listen, and I'm going to break this up even further so you understand where I'm coming from. Alex Smith, and the reason why I said Tyler Huntley's the thing for today, right? And I said that he's Alex Smith 2.0, right? He's a more athletic Alex Smith. Now, for anybody that does not know football, Alex Smith was a very athletic quarterback coming out of college. A very athletic quarterback coming out of college. Remember, he was projected over Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers had some wheels on him when he first came in. Right? Tyler Huntley is a check down guy. He likes to check downs. He does, because he can't throw the deep ball. He cannot connect on the deep ball at all. And I don't even think it's his fault. I think it's the offense. Because what is it that Lamar has trouble connecting on the deep ball on this team, and so does Huntley, and other players that have played, on this team, like in between that time. I forgot what his name that went to the Cardinals. They were having trouble completing deep balls on this team. So, but on this team, he cannot complete the deep ball. So he throws checkdowns all day. Alex Smith threw checkdowns all day. There's only so far a check down can get you. Listen, I want you to understand something with football. A check down is never your first read. A check down is rarely your second read, unless you're a one-read quarterback. You understand? When you run a two-man route, so you understand, where I'm coming from. When you run a two-man route, you pretty much max protect, and then you'll have a running back or the fullback that's helping block, chip, and then go out to the flat for an out valve for a quick pass, right? In case the other two routes are totally covered up, because you're looking for a deep shot. That's what max protection does. We can't even block well with max protection. We have the most elusive quarterback in the entire league. And he's getting sacked. And they're coverage sacks. Like, y'all not even understanding that. And then when you're first and second read, right? And they're deep and they're developing plays, you have to hang in the pocket. You have to. That's your job. That's why Lamar does. And if you're saying, no, they're not asking him that. That's what they ask of Patrick Mahomes. That's what they ask of Josh Allen. That's what they ask of any of the high-level players. Aaron Rodgers, even now Tom Brady. You have to hang in the pocket to make that play. That's fact. You can't even argue it. You can't even argue it. But it's a problem with Lamar because our guys are, for one, are not getting open, and two, the offensive line is leaky. Like, that's why he's having happy feet. He's never going to call them out in the media. He is a good soldier. A good quarterback doesn't do that. They don't call out their teammates. Hey, yo, could you imagine if he did? They would just listen, they're pretty much getting him killed back there anyways. But could you imagine him just letting people through to kill him just because, oh yeah, he thinks he's all big and bad. I'm just going to let them run him over. Duh, it's a team game. But once again, he gets all of the criticism. Even if the team only asked for him to throw the ball 16 times. And out of the 16 times he was asked for throwing the ball, he was sacked like 3 times. And you're not even factoring in drops. Drop touchdowns, batted balls at the line because they're squeezing the pocket like this. He's like, he's trying to get it over their hands. Like, bro, quarterbacks like Lamar do not come around so often. Why do you think? Like, I really have to ask y'all this. Why do some fans think just because we won titles without great quarterbacks, that's just the only way we can win? The NFL, for one, I'm tired of saying this, but it looks like I'm going to have to because some fans need to keep hearing this. The NFL changed their rules so that offenses can more efficiently and be more easier for them to throw the ball. That's just the way the game is. That's what they want. That's what they want. Lamar Jackson listen, Sunday was one of the most boring games. Not one of them. It is the most boring game I've ever watched with Lamar Jackson under center for this team. He is the most exciting player since Michael Vick. And they made him boring. Absolutely just tiresome to watch. And you have people in the flock that are calling for him to be replaced by a quarterback just because they feel that quarterback will be a cheaper option. Like last season, because a lot of people are erasing their tweets and stuff like that. There was a large portion of fans that was saying that he should start and stay the starter. That Huntley was the better option simply because he's the cheaper option. You have to pay for quality, guys. Are you not seeing all the holes that he's making up for? You're breaking his spirit right in front of us. He's hearing all the hate. If the media does it, fine. Let them hate. But he's getting it from the fan base. And they're like, oh, we're not off base for saying those things. Hey, yo, the first 3 games of the season, right? When, what were we 2-1 or something like that? Lamar Jackson was accounting for 89% of our offense. Think about that real quick. No QB's coming close to that. This is how y'all think. If the pass game's not doing well, it's Lamar's fault. If the O-line's not blocking well, he should get the ball out faster. It's Lamar's fault. If the running game isn't good, well, he knows that our running backs are hurt, so he just has to go get those yards. It's Lamar's fault. And if the defense gives up 20 points in the fourth quarter, Lamar should have scored more points, so technically it's his fault. That's sickening. Hey, yo, listen. That's crazy thinking, bro. There's something wrong with y'all. There's something wrong with you guys. Because there's no way you guys can think that. You guys are hypocrites. Hypocrites. Yo, like, bro, because, listen. Let me calm down real quick, bro. Let me gather myself real quick. And y'all get frustrated. Think about this real quick. Real Raven fans, the ones that have been here for a while, we had to rely on kickers pretty much. Kickers. If the tight end, Pitta, you know what I'm saying, or even when Sharp was here for the 2 years he was here for, if one of those guys didn't get in, or our running backs didn't get in, well, then it's going to be a field goal. That's what it was. Low scoring games. Those days of the NFL are gone. You have to have a quarterback. And you know what's even more sickening about me saying you have to have the quarterback? These other teams are surrounding their quarterback with stars. You're asking him. Think about this real quick. Take a step back. Think about it. You're asking him to be what Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen are every game, even though they have bad games. Right? They have bad games. Their fan base don't give them the vitriol that he gets. But they have bad games. But you expect him to be perfect all the time with less weapons, bad play calling, a worse defense, and worse pass catchers. But he's just supposed to make magic happen at all times with what he has to work with. And if he doesn't, he's the problem. He's the problem. I want to reiterate this. We lost every game without him last season. And you know what the craziest part about that tidbit is? The same people that I'm talking about in the flock, right? In the flock, tried to give Huntley a pass because they were saying, well, we're injured. But we were injured when Lamar was playing. And we were the top team in the AFC. Hey, yo, make it make sense. I don't know what, listen, and I've said this before. A lot of times when you hear something over and over and over and over and over again, you start to believe it. That's the way the human psyche is built. That's the reason why songs can become viral even if you don't like it. Because they'll pay for it to go on the radio or pay for it to go on one of the channels that you follow, you know, your Apple Music or whatever, your Spotify, and it keeps playing. And it keeps playing. Especially back when I was younger. And it was on the top 10 BT, top 10 on MTV. So wherever you go, you're hearing it. So you start singing it. Even when you're not realizing it. For anybody that has kids, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Because when they're watching Moana, when they're watching Frozen, when they're watching Tangled, those songs, those kids, because remember, these kids want to watch the song over and over and over again. So now, even though you're not really watching it and you're not trying to listen to it, you'll find yourself singing the songs. You'll start thinking like, oh, that song is kind of catchy. And that's what's happened with Lamar. You guys have heard all of the hate, all of the vitriol, all the adverse critique. And you've heard so much of it that you started to believe it. You started to believe it. Let me let you understand what this is made of when it comes to Lamar, what a lot of y'all don't understand. Because it's bigger than what you think. He's being attacked in the media because the media has portions. You got it coming from? There's factions within the media, i.e. agents. All your media people, from your sportscasters, your newscasters, whatever it is, they have agents. Agents play a very integral role in sports. It just is what it is. It just is what it is. That's why so many people are trying to fight. If you remember when Jay-Z and LeBron and them are trying to fight to get into the agent world, because agents play such a big role in sports. They do. So why do you think the people who's looked out for by agents beat down the name of Lamar Jackson so much? Because he's a guy that doesn't have an agent. He's a quarterback. He's the most exciting player in the league. And now he's trying to sign the biggest deal in NFL history without an agent. Without an agent. That's not good for business. Do you understand? That's not good for business. This is business 101. You take away what can make you or diminish your value in the marketplace. Do you understand? I.e. Lamar. That's why they bash him so much. The guy on that's what he says. The guy on CBS Sports, that's all he brings up every time. Oh, well, he played better if he had an agent. He'd do this if he had an agent. That's why. Everybody knows this. You can't run from it. It can be done by other. Listen, you could be the diamond in the rough where it happens for one, but quarterbacks are gauged differently. They are. They're not running backs. They're not DBs. They're not DNs. They're not defensive tackles or defensive ends. They are the bells of the ball. The creme de la creme. The cream of the crop. That's what quarterbacks are. They are the faces of the league. So when somebody of that stature goes against the status quo, he's going to get hated on. I want y'all to understand this. Patrick Mahomes, for all the money that they say he's making, signed a horrible contract. That was with an agent. He signed a horrible contract. Dak has a better contract than he does. Josh Allen has a better contract than he does. Kyler has a better contract than he does. Aaron Rodgers has a better contract than he does. That's with one of the top agents in the world. In the business. I keep trying to tell people, you know what I'm saying? You have to see the forest through the trees. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just got to, like, the hatred that this guy garners. And he's literally the reason why we are relevant. As Raven fans, we're not used to being this relevant. We're not. We're not used to people actually wanting to watch our games. Other fan bases. That's how you know I'm a Raven fan, because I remember. Yo, I remember the 10-3, 10-7 games, 7-3 games. Yo, I remember those games where the only offensive score was a defensive touchdown and 2 kicks from our kicker. I remember that, and I don't want to go back to that. The Bears won a title without a great QB. And they've thought for years, like, hey, defense and this can win. How do the Bears look in today's NFL? How did the Ravens look before Lamar? I'll tell you how they looked. Trash. That's not no hate. That's fact. Before he took over, look, your coach, the one that y'all seem to give all the passes to, was going to lose his job. 4-5 was our record. He comes in and goes 10-6. Next year, 14-2. Next year, 11-5. He's been nothing short of amazing, and he's doing it without the supporting cast that his other QB counterparts have. That's not conjecture. That's fact. Jimmy Garoppolo. You know what? I'm going to gauge this so y'all understand this in layman terms. Take Lamar and put him on the 49ers. What do you have? Take Lamar and put him on Philadelphia. What do you have? Take Lamar and put him on Miami. What do you have? Take him and put him on the Bengals. What do you have? Take him and put him with Andy Reid. What do you have? Put him on Buffalo. What do you have? See, that's what you should be telling yourselves. Because what you have is absolute dynamite. His name would be Nitro for nitrous. Because he would explode every single Sunday, every single game day. But he's on Baltimore, where we don't believe in offensive weapons. We draft defensive players that high in the draft, first round picks, who we don't even play a lot. We draft players that are hurt as our third round picks, but we can get them in the 4th or 5th round. That's the team he's on. He's covering up so many mistakes, and you guys criticize him, critique him into the ground. We've seen what this team looks like without him. They went 4-5 before he took over, right? That's 4-5. And then when Huntley took over, they lost every single game. I don't want to hear, oh, they were injured. They were injured when he was playing. And we were the top team in the AFC. It's just sickening at this point, man. It really is, because I don't see an end to this. You guys, I'm telling you, man, y'all really make it hard for other Raven fans to be Raven fans because we have to sit in the same spaces and rooms as you guys. It's like you want him to leave. I'm telling you this. I want y'all to understand this right now. If Lamar Jackson leaves, mark my words, he's winning multiple championships. What are you going to say? Oh, well, at least we didn't have to pay that money. It's not your money. It's not your moolah. The front office doesn't like you. They don't care about you. Stop acting like they do. And even if they throw you a bone, it does not make your credibility any better than mine. That's only because they know that you're a suck-up. Yo, that's the only reason why they deal with you. Could you sit there like a puppy? Bark, 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 bark. Give me bone, bark, bark. Give me bacon, bark, bark. Kibbles and bits, kibbles and bits. That's what y'all do. Hoping that they throw you a little bone. Hoping that they throw you a little doggy treat. And when they do, you go, thank you, thank the gods. Oh my God, doggy treats. Not realizing they're not giving you any food off their table. It's a doggy treat. They got it from Dollar Tree. Bruh, I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all. This is a sickening thing that we have going on in the fan base right now. It's a virus that needs to be exorcised. Like an incision needs to be made so that it can be cut out and then thrown away. Because at what point do you start looking at our past and realizing that if we don't address our past, we're doomed to repeat it in the future? That's history. But hey, yo, look, that's another episode of the Wunderkind Show. You know I do this every day because you know why? Because I am content. And I'm not content until you guys get this content. Bars! Hey, yo, bars! 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 Hey, yo, but I love you guys, and y'all know that, man. Please remember, like and subscribe, retweet. Make sure you hit that notification bell, and I respect y'all. Listen, y'all could be anywhere else in the world, but you here with me, and I appreciate that every single day. So y'all have a wonderful day. Y'all have a blessed afternoon. This is Nitro with another episode of the Wunderkind Show, and y'all knows my slogan. Peace. And I'm out. Woosah! Woo!